Alright, we got a Chevy Equinox here. P0601 code is what we come up with. This one here, somehow or another the plug-in had gotten messed up and broke. We went ahead and took the computer off of the transmission and fixed everything and put it back together, and it's working great. But what I wanted to talk to you about was, most of the time when the P0601 code comes up, you're going to have to replace the control module. Always check your wiring first, go over the wiring, make sure that all that is working the way it's supposed to, and that there's no wires that's been cut or anything of that nature. So but anyway, I wanted to kind of show you how to replace this control module. And that P0601 code stands for internal computer checksum error. The module checksum error. So what happens is the computers are not when they check in the transmission computer, it's not giving them information back that it should. So it posts that code, and when you hook it up, this is what you're going to have to do. I've already took all the bolts out of the cover, but they're 8mm bolts. You take the cover off. On this Equinox, I had to pull the cover up through the top. Your transmission cooler line, which goes down in here, has a 13mm nut on it. You'll take that nut off, lay this back, because this line will get hung up on this, and it'll kind of trap that cover in there and give you a hard way to go if you don't watch. So anyway, just take that line loose, lay it back. There is a little seal that goes on that line. Make sure that that little seal is on there before you put it back, because it'll leak a lot of fluid out quick if you get taking this down the road. But anyway, what we got here is, if you're going to replace this with a used one, make sure that your numbers match up. And sometimes you can get by without having to have it reprogrammed once you get it back on there. If you put a new one on it, you're not going to have to worry about numbers, because they're going to go by your VIN number, and they're going to get you the right control module for it. But you're going to have to take it somewhere, or if you reprogram yourself, but it's going to have to be reprogrammed. The transmission probably wouldn't even move if you just put a new computer on here and didn't have it reprogrammed. It may not even move out of its track. So anyway, what you got here, you got 3 bolts that are 7mm. You'll take those 3 bolts out. Don't worry about getting these bolts mixed up, because they're all the same length. They're the same bolt. And then you've got your 10mm bolts. They're the same way. They're all the same length, so don't worry about getting them mixed up. Your plug-in down here, you'll unplug that, just unsnap it. You got a little gray retainer for this plug. Take it off, and then you'll just unplug that, and you'll unplug this one here. This is usually snapped in there, so it'll come out. Just lay it back out of the way like this. You have to watch this wire when you're putting this back together, because it can creep down in behind there, and you don't want to get that. You don't want that kind of problem. So the 10mm bolts are all in this plate. You see the metal plate. You'll just take those out. Of course, I've got everything loose, and just pull those 10mm bolts out. Like I said, they're all the same length. Don't worry about getting them mixed up. Once you get those 10mm bolts out, then this will just slide off of here. Nothing's going to fall out from behind here. I have seen this little plastic pop off of here. It's no problem just to pop it back on there. And but when I took this off the Equinox, I had to take it down through the bottom. I took the cover through the top, and I took the control module through the bottom. But anyway, I wanted to make this video in case you go to replace this yourself. You can rewind whatever, look back, and see exactly, you know, how many bolts I took out, and how that we took them out of there, so that you can replace it yourself if that's what you're planning on doing. But anyway, I hope this video helps you. P0601 was the code that we was after, and it's a loss of communication more or less between this and the control module on the vehicle. So this one here, what you could do is just let it, you could just start the engine, clear the codes, let it set. After about 5 minutes it would code. You didn't even have to drive the vehicle for it to code. Once it checked this computer, it was showing that it was bad. We ended up having a wiring problem. You'll always want to check these wiring pins down in here, make sure none of them's bent, and when you plug that up, make sure that you don't bend any, putting it back. So, but anyway, I hope this video helps you.